The cold didn't hurt, not at first. Shock is numb like that, silent, suspended, almost merciful. What I remember most is the way he looked at me as he slammed the door. No anger, just boredom. As if stripping me, shoving me into the snow, and letting the whole street watch was merely housekeeping. Behind him, his mother's voice cracked like a whip. "Let's see if any beggar will pick you up now." I didn't answer. I didn't cry. I just stood there, my skin burning against the January wind, my dignity hanging off me in torn threads. And that was the moment, right there, when something inside me shifted. Not broke, corrected. What they saw as humiliation, I saw as permission. Funny how easily love disguises danger. When I met Daniel, he was charming in that polished, understated way. A man who talked softly but always expected a room to rearrange itself around him. I mistook that for confidence. I mistook a lot of things. He told me he loved my independence, my ambition, my ability to walk into a boardroom like I owned the oxygen. What he really loved was how useful those qualities made me. I built our businesses. I smoothed his negotiations. I softened his failures. I fed his ego like it was a starving thing. I thought we were building an empire. Turns out, I was just building his. It started with small shifts. Calls taken in the garage. Meetings he couldn't explain. The way he flinched when I walked into a room unannounced. Then, the messages. Flirtations first, plans second, intentions third, and finally, the hammer. A photo of him and her in the penthouse I designed, lying on the sheets I bought, laughing like I had never existed. I stared at that photo for a long time, not crying, not breaking, just recalibrating. The moment I processed it fully, I realized something extraordinary. They thought they were ahead. They thought I was blind. They thought I was powerless. I almost laughed. I didn't confront him. That would have given him the satisfaction of reacting. Instead, I prepared. While he spent nights with her, I spent nights with lawyers. While he lied to my face, I quietly moved assets with surgical precision. While his mother mocked my dependence, I cataloged every piece of property purchased under my name, because I was the only one smart enough to maintain clean books. Every signature he'd ever rushed through, every agreement he hadn't read, every transfer he assumed I'd never use, I gathered them like ammunition. I didn't want revenge to hurt. I wanted it to educate. The irony is he chose the night he was financially ruined to attack me. He didn't know it yet, but the deals he counted on had already been dismantled. The accounts he thought held millions were already frozen, with the legal trail pointing directly to his own mismanagement. He only knew I had stopped being his shield, so he exploded. He grabbed my clothes, tore them, dragged me to the door while his mother watched with that serpent smile she always hid behind gospel quotes. When he shoved me outside, she held the door open just long enough to deliver her blessing. "Let's see what you're worth now." The door slammed, and I smiled, because my phone was still in my hand. I dialed one number. 1. He used to joke that my family was old money with old pride. He forgot that old money also means old alliances. It means there's always a debt waiting to be repaid. I didn't even say my whole name, just, "It's done." 30 minutes later, the street filled with headlights, dozens of them, gliding through the snow like ghosts. Rolls-Royces, black and silent, stopped in formation. Neighbors peeked through their curtains. His mother froze behind the window, and Daniel, smug, furious Daniel, opened the door just as my escorts stepped out. Their coats alone cost more than his car. "Ma'am," the lead one said, placing his jacket around my shoulders, "your father said to bring you home." Daniel's face drained. His mother's mouth trembled. They finally understood. I had never needed them. They had needed the illusion of owning me. 2 weeks later, Daniel learned he no longer had access to the penthouse, the accounts, or the company, none of which were legally his anymore. His mistress left. His reputation rotted. His mother started calling me. Apologies, excuses, rewritten history. I didn't answer. People assume revenge feels like fire. It doesn't. It feels like ice finally melting. The night he threw me out, he thought he was discarding me. But I wasn't being thrown away. I was being unburdened. And when the fleet of Rolls-Royces arrived, when the cold lifted off my skin, when power returned to my spine, I realized something beautifully simple. He didn't break me. He revealed me.